Okay, before we saw when we were conducting a hypothesis test about one sample mean, um, we could use a z-score if the population standard deviation was known and then if the sample size was large enough. So in this question, if you pause and read the recording, the population standard deviation is known. So it means we're going to use a z value for a test statistic. And for comparing two means, you subtract the two sample means and divide it by the square root of the first population standard deviation squared over the sample size of the first group plus the second population standard deviation squared over n2. Wow, I don't know why that's so big. Okay, so if we plug in our numbers, we got 1074.32 subtracted by 1015.11 divided by the square root of, now it says it's 164.10 for n field, the population standard deviation. And then you divide that by the sample size of n field, plus the 181.70 squared over 42. Okay, because I said those are standard deviations. Okay, so a bunch of number crunching. I'm going to kind of zip through this part, but if it's something you have trouble with, try doing it one step at a time. You know, subtract the top, copy everything else down. Square the numerator with everything else kept the same. Copy everything else down. And then divide what you got here from squaring by 39. Divide this by 42. Write that number out. And then add those two quantities. Okay, but that part isn't really the statistics part, right? That's the statistics part is knowing, you know, which test statistic to use. Oops, 164.10. I'm going to square that and then divide by 39 all in one step. So I got 690 for that first term, 690.4823. There we go. 181.7 squared divided by 42. That's 786.0688. And then the numerator, I don't know why I didn't do that first, but got 59.21. Okay, so if I add the denominator, there's two terms in the denominator. Then we take the square root, and we're going to take whatever that number is and divide 59.21 by that number. Oops. 59.21 divided by that. I got 1.54, two decimal places.